think, yes, I can hear myself now.
I can hear myself too. Cool.
Cool. Yeah, I can hear Michael. So. Welcome to Harvey Field, home of Cottesloe Rugby Club, for this round 5 matchup between the Cottesloe Seagulls and Kalamunda Queens. We're here for the Fortescue Women's Premier Grade matchup. My name's Jason Marable and I'm joined in co-commentary by Michael Lawton, and it's a repeat of last year's grand final here in the Premier Grade competition for the women, Michael.
Thanks for having me, Jason. Yeah, really excited to be here. Subbing in for Let's Chat legend Dane Lazarus. He's off on daddy's duties. Happy birthday to Noah. Looking forward to a big game today. Second v third in the table. It's going to be a good one.
It's very looking forward to. We've got some real superstars out there for both teams. A couple of Super W players and a lot of development players as well. You may be able to see from the pictures that it's probably not the day that you want to be at the beach, even though we've got the beautiful Cottesloe beach right behind us. It's a bit wet out there, to say the least, Michael.
Yeah, but it's a good day. Here's Ladies' Day here for Cottesloe Rugby as well, double header. The senior Premiership grade match is on stand as well, so looking forward to it as the Cottesloe women's team runs out. Oh no, that's the... oh, it is, yeah, lovely. And
here they come now. Oh, that's the 4th grade guys making their way out, but they're taking the long way around. Did think the Cottesloe Seagulls looked a little bit different than they usually do.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry about that.
So these two teams have, as I said, they met in the grand final last year, and it was an absolute barn burner of a women's final with Cottesloe just sneaking over a pretty packed and talented Kalamunda Queens side. So anytime these two meet, there's a little bit of revenge on the cards, I'd say. And Cottesloe Seagulls are actually going for the three-peat, just like the men's team did last year. So they're back-to-back champions of the women's competition here at Rugby WA.
They've had a slow start to the season though at the moment. They had a good win against Wanneroo, 12-10, but a loss to draw and a loss in the last 3, so they'll be looking to get a good bounce back here at home against Kalamunda.
And I think it's fair to say that both teams are dealing with injuries. You know, there are a lot of movements and in the player jerseys and new players coming in to sort of replace some injured bodies, having come through a full Super W campaign. A lot of sore bodies already early in the season, so a lot of changes and a lot of new faces on both teams, so it'd be interesting to take a look at some of the ladies that are having a run out there today. And
they're being led out by Katie Barnes, captain, Super W squad player, and it's her first year as a captain, and she's also on the committee, has over 50 caps for the Seagulls, I'm told.
Yeah, there's still a couple of veterans out there, isn't there, as well? You've got Jan Farrell at 15, over 50 caps as well. So some good experience. They've got some young players in there in the Cottesloe team. You've got Nami Dixon, who's a Force, part of the wider Force Academy. She's a specialist jackler. And she was actually playing with her younger sister up until a few days ago, but her younger sister's out with a bit of a head knock. But great to see Nami out there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the 13s against each other head-to-head of Lange versus Zakaya. Both played at Armore together, both high-quality players, so it should be a good one to watch a matchup.
Yeah, those two know each other very well, played a lot of rugby together, usually against each other. As we're just getting a few of the spectators off the field as we're ready to get underway here at Ladies' Day at beautiful Harvey Field. It's the Cottesloe Seagulls versus the Cala Queens, and your referee for today is Louis de Klerk.
Katie. Okay.
And Kalamunda Queens kicking off right to left. There's a breeze coming left to right over the field, as you can hear there early doors. One of the Cala Queens lady, that's Rosie McGeehan, just really keen to get involved, a little bit too keen and going a bit early on the kick, so the Seagulls will have the penalty right on halfway.
Yeah, not an ideal way to start the game there, Jason. Obviously, you want to keep your errors low during the entire start, but obviously there's a lot of eagerness out there, a lot of hunger, so we'll leave it off.
And it will be Langley Sasanga to, I think she's probably going to take a tap here, and the Seagulls will have a bit of a run. She takes a tap and then puts a bit of a short kick up as a contestable one, but it's fielded by
Barb Malcolm Hecke.
Now that's
Good carry.
from Kamazona Heke there on the carry, as Leddington swings it out wide to McGeehan. Now cut out pass to the Calla Queens winger, but got a hand in the air, and it's going to be a knock on against the Calla Queens. So the Cottesloe Seagulls will pack down a scrum.
And there is a wind coming in from the coastline as well, and I suppose that does affect the passing on a day like today as well. It needs to be crisp, hands out, hands up, but just something to be conscious of.
Oh, it's always the case at Harvey Field. You know, when you're passing into the wind, it's a lot harder. Throw those big, long cut-out passes with that ocean breeze moving right to left across the field. And there's a big gust of it now. So maybe short passing in the backs is the order when you're passing into the wind.
Yeah.
As we get to take a look at the first scrum here. It's a little bit wet underfoot, but these are two experienced packs. Particularly, this is an area that I think the Calla Queens will actually have an advantage. They've got a very experienced front row here, so it'd be interesting to see how this goes.
Set. Hold.
Yeah.
And they do get it out the back now here with Wallace to Sasanga.
Good carry by 12 there as well. Oh, commentator's curse as always, knock on.
Apologies, that was Kayla Van Spal. And we'll have another scrum now with the feed to the Calla Queens. What do you make of that first scrum, Michael?
They did look like they got the shove on there actually well, didn't they, on the second hit? So again, see how they got on with their own feed into the scrum actually.
Okay.
But I must say the pitch looking good, nicely lined as well, obviously with the Cottesloe logo in the front as well, looks good.
So a late change at the number 9 position for Calla Queens. That's Hobaya, who's wearing the 16 jersey but playing as the 9. So it's a big day here at Harvey Field as well. It's not only Ladies' Day, but later in the day it's the Battle of Broome Street. That'll be the game on Stan Sports if you want to tune into that one later. But we're happy to be able to bring you this Women's Premier Grade match for free on the Rugby WA YouTube channel. I wouldn't worry about the Super Rugby final, to be honest. I'd tune into the Battle of Broome. And the Calla Queens,
carry.
that's Malcolm Heke. She's strong ball carrier coming off the back of the scrum there.
Again, it's the dominance of the Kalamunda scrum there, giving a great platform for the carry.
Proctor goes to Kamazona Heke. And Cottesloe Seagulls have turned that one over. They've got over the ball.
Well done.
And
Sarah Coffey, I think, with the pilfer there as well, actually. Very good.
Bree Wallace there taking a quick tap, and the referee has his arm out for a penalty advantage.
No advantage, high tackle.
And it's a penalty for a high tackle there. You can hear referee Louis de Klerk.
Really impressive pilfer there from the number 1, actually, to get over the ball, strong stance and lift. Really good.
Yeah, so Sarah Coffey, it is her second year as a Cottesloe player, and that kick didn't go out for the Cottesloe Seagulls, and the pass from the Calla Queens gets taken back in goal. It all gets a little bit messy at the back there, and Carriopa wisely kicks it, but we've got an opportunity here for Jan Farrell, who gets a bit of an awful bounce, to be fair to her. And she cleans up quite well, and now she's looking to run to the outside with a bit of space, but it's going a bit sideways, and now it's going backwards. Liddicote has the ball, looks to get around the corner. I think probably Cottesloe just need to reset there. The ball's popped out, and the Calla Queens have come away with that. So from being inside their own in-goal, Kalamunda Queens have done very well here as Heke takes the ball up. Another strong carry. She'll look to do that all day, I think, Michael.
Yeah, very impressive way to get out of their own try line. From that point, it was excellent passing, counter pressure, good kick, and great chase.
That was Dee on the carry, and that's Rosie again putting the ball up, and that's actually not a bad kick as well. And I think this weather's playing a little bit of havoc with those bounces, and that's a really good kick and chase by the Calla Queens, and just got been pinged there for a high tackle. And I think referee Louis de Klerk's going to just have a word here to ensure that that tackle height gets brought down, but a bit unlucky there. They've gone 70 metres with 2 kicks there, and I'd recommend maybe Cottesloe, the fullback, probably needs to be looking to take that ball on the full, because It is a wet surface, and with that wind, it's obviously very hard to judge. So that'd be an interesting tactic to see if the Queens continue to go down that route. So Sanger takes it quickly. Here's Katie Barnes. She takes the ball into contact. Good tackle there by Jay Proctor from the Cala Queens.
I think you're right, though. With the wind playing up as it is, a kicking can just, fullback really needs to be in right position. It's easy to make a mistake. So again, that's a good option for Kalamunda. Maybe Cottesloe might choose to endeavour with it themselves.
And the Seagulls here just looking to get into their structure and their setup as they come around the corner. Let's carry there by Nami Dixon, and here's Fuente, the hooker, taking the ball up, and she might be held up here actually by those very strong and experienced Cala Queen forwards. And it is held up, and the Cala Queens will get the scrum. So they've started well, the Cala Queens, even though they're a little bit light on numbers today. As I said, a few of those injuries. They've started well here at Harvey Field.
On the line, ladies.
And they'll have an opportunity to...
Yeah, no surprise they're going back to the scrum there, Jason, as well, after earlier in the half already. Showing the dominance, maybe get a scrum penalty, get an advantage and play out the wide.
And it's, as I said, the Kamazona Heke sisters, Katana at the loose head and Naomi at the tight head position. They would love to scrum all day. And another great example here of our competition with two sisters playing together. We've got a few out there, the Cala Queens. We've got Zakia Kariopa, and her younger sister Journey, I believe, is on the bench. And the scrum all gets a little bit messy there.
That's a great thing to see, though, in community rugby, sets of family playing together. It's really special for them every time they line out, I think.
So we saw a few weeks ago in the Wanneroo Divas game, we had the mother and daughter combination on the field as well, which is absolutely fantastic. And as I said, Cottesloe, there's a few sisters in that setup as well. So it's an interesting setup in the backs that the Cottesloe Seagulls have, because they actually seem to have interchangeable half-backs and tens play in there. So sometimes you'll see Sasanga go in at first receiver, sometimes you'll see Bree Wallace go in at first receiver, and sometimes she'll play at 9. Currently Megan Liddycote with the 9 jersey on. She's a player that's come on loan from West Scarborough, played for them last season.
Crouch.
It's good to see the confidence in the back line they have with each other, though. All obviously understand the moves, all confident in their basic skill set. Oh, here we go. Scrum penalty, first penalty for Kalamunda. Yeah.
I think that's the correct call there by referee de Klerk. It might be a long day for that Cottesloe front row, and that'll be an area of the game as Nicole Leddington, the Super W fly half. We haven't talked much about her today. She kicks for touch for the penalty, and we'll get a first look at the line out. But obviously great for the Cala Queens to have Nicole Leddington in their squad this year, leading them around the park. I think she had a pretty good Super W campaign, and she's still young, plays a bit of 7, so she's one to watch from the future.
Yeah, very exciting with ball in hand as an attacking threat as well, which is great to see from your 10, passing, kicking. But if you have that running threat as well, makes you all that more dangerous and hard to read.
And the Queens win the line out quite well as the ball goes out to, well, it actually went out to the winger, Alex Foster, and she's knocked the ball on, and then a player in front of that ball has picked it up, so that is offside a bit. It was actually a good line out by the Queens there, but then I said it's that passing into the wind. I think just probably maybe want to simplify that pass early on until you get used to having the hands on the ball. Another player I'm really interested to see for the Cala Queens today, and hopefully see her get her hands on the ball plenty of times, is the fullback Ariana Ruru Hinake. She's a great development player, involvement in Super W as well, so they've definitely got some strike players. As the Seagulls, Fuente throws the ball in, and going to blame the wind again for that one. For the throw went a good couple of metres.
Yeah, it's hard to see on the screen here, but it is quite windy as well, and swirling. It's not consistently just coming in one direction.
Well, the Cala Queens won't mind going back to the scrum. Actually, sorry, they're going. I thought they were packing the scrum. They're going to take the line out. So, and that line out goes pretty much the same as the first one, but in this time, that's taken up by Naomi Dixon with a good carry there. And Katie Barnes calls for the ball, with Carriopa shooting up out of the line now. And Fuente looking for a carry, and a really good rush out of the line tackle there by Didi, and that has actually created the turnover. So a great tackle there from the number 22 Didi, playing in the lock position.
As you said though, that chop tackle really sets up the pilfer.
And it's a quick tack here by Leddington as they look to go. And Carriopa gets the ball. She looks to get to the outside. Again, good tackle there by Bree Wallace, I believe. Sorry, that's Eleanor Dumper with the tackle. And the Cottesloe Seagulls come out of the line, and there's a little knock on in there.
A lot of good line speed from both sides, actually. You know, a lot of aggression, a lot of good tackles going in. It's good to see, as I said earlier, that chop tackle around the ankles really opens up the pilfer for that person to come in over the ball. Because the tackler has made the ball carrier lie in the wrong position, north-south. So, again, strong position. Another scrum. I suppose Kalamunda probably licking their lips here, realistically, at another scrum.
Well, there's a lot of friends out there between both teams, but certainly once that whistle blows, they're more than happy. They don't shy away from the contact. They love getting one over your mate's always a good one, but I'm sure that these ladies will be enjoying a beverage at the bar at Ladies' Day after this is done.
Yeah. Well earned beverage as well, in fairness.
I think that fire in the clubhouse is already roaring, so a few Irish whiskies up there a little bit later in the day, Michael.
I don't know why you're looking at me, Jason.
As we have a look at the feed here, it's the Cottesloe feed, so we'll see how they go on attack. They gave away the penalty for front row collapsing there, and yeah, for me, is there a hint of the Cala Queens though standing up a little bit in that scrum, or is Louis de Klerk seeing something that I'm not?
I think he sees the right call. I think that the ball wasn't hooked early enough down the channel 1 by Cott, and that just split second of delay really gives the Cala Queens a moment to reload and hit the second hit and get the drive on.
I just would like to see them keep their body height a little bit lower, because they certainly are dominant on the hit, as that scrum penalty is kicked for touch by the fly half Leddington, and looks to be a line out for the Cala Queens just inside the 22. We'll see how they go with this one. The line out's been a bit of a mixed bag in this wind, and it's a contested one, and it's brought down well as Heke comes up with a big carry there by Katana, and that's taken forward well as the back set up now. They could have a bit of a go here, but Cottesloe do. Well, I was going to say they do a good job to come through and disrupt that, but they didn't do it legally. They're offside. They didn't find themselves behind the ruck. So
just showing the importance of your set piece. Great take from the lock off the top, and then a massive carry there as well. Look at the front forward ball, caught on their heels. Let's see if they can do it again. Good kick to the corner again from Nicole.
I think it's actually gone about a metre backwards, but that's fine because she was right in front of the line. So they'll have another goal line. It was a good contested line out by Cottesloe, that one as well. Cala Queens did a good job to bring it down, and then Katana Kamazona Heke with the run off the back of the line out. Took a few to bring it down. So here we go with the Queens line out, 5 metres out. And they go to the front this time, brought down by the Queens, and they set up the rolling maul. And it looks to be going right, and it comes off the back, and it's Jay Proctor again coming away with it there, and she scores the try for the Cala Queens.
Credit to Cottesloe there, though. They actually did very well in the maul defence to negate the first push them to the try line. But a good breakaway, strong ball carry from Jay Proctor there.
Yeah, good smart rugby by the Cala Queens. I think, you know, you play the conditions. It's windy, it's wet. They get a couple of scrum penalties, go for the corner. Good setup for the maul there. Sucked all the forwards in, and then you give the ball to your big ball carrier, and they find themselves 5 zip up here at Harvey Field.
Yeah, you're right though. It's the set piece dominance there, scrum penalties, working your smart lineouts. getting your ball carriers going. Well worked. All from their own try line, effectively, as well. You know, from that moment where they're passing it in the dead ball zone.
Yeah, and they've kept calm. So the season so far sees Cottesloe in 3rd place. The Calaqueens are in 2nd place, and top of the pops are the Wanneroo Divas, but it's pretty tight between 1 and 2. And this is a big game for the Seagulls because they want to stay in touch with that top 2 position as the conversion from Leadington successful.
Yeah, it's tight at the top in the top 2. There's a big game for the Gulls now as well to stay in reach. They should have a lot of confidence as well. The first kind of 5 minutes of the game, they were getting some good phases going, disrupting. So let's see if they can respond now from this first score from Cala.
Yeah, so Sanga to take the kickoff. That's fielded by Abaya. The late change at 9. It's the Calaqueens, big strong carry there, but it's come loose and knocked on.
Scrum blue.
So Seagulls will have a scrum, and it's difficult conditions. It is really wet and dewy. We had a lot of rain over the last few days and a lot of rain this morning, so we're lucky that it's clear at the moment. It's probably not helping the Seagulls' cause really that their scrums, well, not the dominant, so probably trying to hold on to the ball here. I know it's their feed, but I think the team that can hold on to the ball will come out of this one in a pretty good position.
They just need to get it in and out, get the backs involved, some good ball carriers there as well in the back line, so just straight in and out hopefully here for them.
Wait, guys.
Okay.
Ladies. Because you're dropping your barn, sir. So keep the barn, please.
Can we just get a touch of the time before craps? I'm still getting my locks in.
Sure.
I'll try and brush it.
Okay.
Okay, let's set out.
We'll slow down, but just nice long barn, please. Thank you.
Good work there from the Cottesloe hooker, Sofia Becker-Fuente, just kind of talking to the referee, setting how they want to set up, taking their time. It's a good way.
Crouch.
Yeah, referee de Klerk's a very experienced referee. He's packed down or been in control of a few scrums in his time, so just talking it through with the ladies there and making sure that they get a good platform. And that one's come out of the other tunnel, so it wasn't hooks, so they'll go again. Oh, geez, we should have got Chris Heiberg in for the commentary on this one because I think we've I haven't been keeping track of the scrums, but they're up there for the first 17 minutes of the game. He'd be absolutely loving this, and the involvement last year in the Super W program is working on that set piece. So it's a great opportunity for a lot of these ladies to continue that work on their individual plans.
And he loves a scrum. My God, I've never met a man more who loves to talk the inertias of all parts of scrum.
Oh, and that one's gone against the Calaqueens, so the ball was, and I think he's got the tight head for angling in and going up. So actually a good outcome there for the Seagulls. I think it's a good point there with the hooker experience. Sofia Becker-Fuente just slowed it down a little bit. Said, let's get our platform right, and it's actually worked out for them now. She might have had a word with the referee there as well, saying, oh, look, can you watch them standing up? And
that's what you need is on these time moments, you know, it's
off. Oh, the line-out's overthrown, and here comes Leadington.
Some nice passes there.
Carriopa, and a long looping pass out to the winger, Mako, and it's cleaned up, but they've gone backwards, the Queens, but they still have the ball.
Come back.
Good counter.
Really good counter ruck, and Carriopa smartly picks up the ball and goes again. Tackled there by Dixon.
Great counter by number 13, Cottesloe there as well, though. Really put them under pressure.
Leadington, and now that goes to Malcolm Barb Heke, and she's had plenty of carries today, Leadington. And another carry by Kamazona Heke. Goes out to the far winger Alex Foster, who just loses her footing there. And have they turned this over?
They have.
Sasanga, she has. That's the other thing I was going to say about Langley is it's actually, she's very good over the breakdown. She could play as a back rower, to be honest. She usually gets a couple of pilfers a game. It's a part of the game that she enjoys.
She worked so hard. She was on this closer side to us as well. Moved all the way across, followed the ball, took her time. Really well worked. And look at them now. Another good platform for a line out. Good field position. I think I would implore maybe, you know, going close up to a 2. Have the wind again blowing up here. Stay away from the back of the line and get the ball down. Get through some phases.
See how they go. Fuente with the throw.
Oh,
and
well
really
taken.
brought down by Katie Barnes, showing all her experience there. The pass is a bit messy out the back. And
She picks it up again. Good carry.
just need to slow things down a little bit here, the Seagulls, as it's getting a little bit messy out the back. It's cleaned up. It's Lidicote playing at 9. Throws a high pass, but it's caught well there by...
Release tackler.
Zoe Elliott, I think, great carry from her. Oh, and here we go again, another advantage. Penalty. Great ball carry there from Zoe Elliott. They're on the back foot a bit, really got the footwork on. Very good carry there.
And the kick from Lidicote finds touch. Helped a little bit there by the wind, as it's picked up a little bit now, and it's starting to just sprinkle. I do think this won't stick around though. It should. So what can the Seagulls do? It goes up. Katie Barnes.
Another
it's
take.
cleaned up. Lidicote. Here's Dixon. Good carry from Dixon. Takes 2 to bring it down, but
No, leave it off your feet. Leave it now.
Lettington's over that and disrupting it, and you could hear referee de Klerk say, "Leave it. You're off your feet." The Seagulls take the quick tap, and here is.
It was Katie Barnes with the carry anyway on the quick tip and go. Just not sure.
I think he wants to have a little bit of a chat to someone.
Okay, so the ball's been the try.
Oh, lost forward over the try line.
No, he's awarded the try.
He's awarded the try. Oh, and we've got probably just a bit of a pause in play here with the wind coming in, disrupting a couple of the team marquees. So good try there. I think it was Katie Barnes with the carry,
yeah.
Wasn't it? He went over to have a chat to the AR, but she said the ball was grounded.
No, it was good. It was good. Quick play, good communication. You can loudly hear it. Unlucky with the kick there, but yeah, it was good. Good tip and go. Good vocal communication. Great carry from Katie Barnes.
So the conversion not successful by Dixon. So Cottesloe 5, Kalamunda 7.
Yeah, and it really is in shot here, but as we've been alluding to all matches, extremely windy. Teams having troubles with their marquees out here as well, which I think can understand some of the throws into the line out, some of the passing. You know, the wind is blowing a gale.
Yeah, it really has picked up here in the last few minutes. So as I'm here holding on to the marquee as we speak. We might get blown away here, and it is one of the staples of Harvey Field, being so close to the coast, that when the weather is in, it can be a challenging place to play.
Yeah, it's like the start of Wizard of Oz, if you've ever seen that movie. We're not in Kansas anymore. It's the house we don't blow away. No.
Okay, it's back, guys.
Tricky restart actually for Cottesloe to take under this wind as well.
And
floating up
has
there.
a chase, and
Good
that's
take.
taken, and a great tackle there by McGinn. It was taken by Alice Goldstack, but really good tackle by Rosie McGinn as Katie Barnes, after scoring the try, rolls it up, and I think the Kalamunda players found herself on the wrong side of the ruck, but she was trapped in there, so referee de Klerk says let's play on, and Dixon brings the ball up, and they've got her in a bit of a scrappy way off the back of the jersey, but it's all legal, and the ball pops out, and a really good heads-up play there by the Kalamunda, and pops out, and oh, it's all got a bit messy now. And the Seagulls come away with it. Here's Lidicote, plays to Bree Wallace, and
good read
she's
from number
really
14.
good read by Mako, the winger, came up and stopped. A really good experienced player, Wallace. You don't want to let her get out in the open. She's got a lot of speed. And here's a great carry. Here's a great carry by Zoe Elliott. and chews off about 10-15 metres, so a bit more of that.
Yeah.
As
really impressive straightening of the line. Another great carry from her.
And Goldstack tries to do the same and might be held up, but she's brought down in the tackle. And Lidicote now goes out to the
huge
Izzy
hit.
McIver, but again, there's a couple of big hits out there and a really
strong
good
counter.
Good counter ruck.
Okay.
Balls in the ruck, you can't.
Okay, so yeah, referee de Klerk saying the counter ruck's okay, but then you can't, while the ball's still in the ruck, you can't use your hands to drag the ball back. So the
huge
Seagulls,
hit from Kalamunda there, though.
Oh.
To really shot that down.
There's already been a couple of them. They don't mind the contact.
There's a
and-
mark, right?
I like to see the team as well. When there's a big hit, then they come in, the secondary shot onto the ruck to really drive momentum. Really good there. But again, Cottesloe still kind of they're fighting their way into this. They've got some good good balance into what they're trying to do.
Closer in, 2 metres closer.
Yeah, good carry by the lock Zoe Elliott. So, a bit more of that as Fuente gets the throw and it finds a couple of hands, but it's all just about cleaned up there by Dixon running at pace, but she's knocked the ball on. So Red have the knock-on advantage and they go out wide now to Leddington.
Still playing advantage.
And got her around the jersey there. And as the Queens go back the other way. By now Kamazona Heke taking the ball up. And the Seagulls have won it, and that's Katie Barnes with the pilfer.
What she's on for the game now, Jason? 2, 3, really important moments.
I think she's had a couple of big moments in this game, and her and Langley Sasega getting a couple of pilfers. It is a part of their game. I've refereed them a few times, and they don't mind getting involved in the ruck, and sometimes not always legally, but they'll argue that. They certainly do on the field with me when I referee them. But
Thanks.
That's part of it, I think. You know, you got to be able to talk to the referee. Maybe talk to the referee in decision they shouldn't be.
oh, definitely a few of those ladies out there happy to have a chat on the field. All in good fun, though.
Line-up proving difficult for both people in this wind as well. It is really causing difficulty.
Well, all the lineouts have been down the far side, and I think referee de Klerk's let that one go. Here's Dixon carrying the ball. She gets on, and again, another big hit there by Malcolm Bar Heke. And Fuente gets the ball there, and she's tackled by Nari Little. Lidicote, and they're putting her a bit under pressure, but here is Zoe Elliott. Yeah, keep giving her the ball. She's carrying strong. Lidicote looks to come near this blind side again. Bree Wallace, good hands in the wet there. McGeehan makes the tackle, drives her to the ground. Sanders over the top of it. Katie Barnes wants it, and good big fend here, but then Kamazona Heke comes out
and
actually knocks the ball loose in the tackle.
Really good pass out front from the 9 to Barnes. She takes it well, fends first player, but Kamazona Heke comes in with a big hit again.
Outside in there and shoulder on shoulder, that's going to hurt. She loves tackling. She's a big, strong tackler. They're getting through a lot of work, actually, the Colour Queens front row and their number 8, so the sisters, a lot of carries.
Yeah, they're working really hard. I must say, it's very impressive. Like, it's hard to get in from a scrum and then straight up for your line speed or D, so good energy. And what it clearly means a lot to the team as well. You know, when a good hit comes in, it kind of lifts the rest of the team. You can see that there.
It sets the standard as well, doesn't it? Your teammates around you.
Fine.
Interesting to see which way they go here now. Middle of the pitch scrum, Leddington on the left.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think they're going to do here? You've got Leddington and Rosie McGeehan on this near side, or you've got Kariopa and Ariana Ruru Hinake on the other side, so it's pretty much middle of the field split.
Well, the way that the Kalamunda scrum is going, if they can get the near side shoulder up on this scrum and give a platform to the 8 to pick and go, and maybe a quick recycling of the ball, and you can shoot again down this near side.
Also would note that the wingers aren't back at all, and so there is a bit of space back there. If maybe the boot of Leddington's on to find the corner, use that wind. They do still have the 2-point advantage, and there's 5 minutes left in this one, so maybe the option there is putting it on the boot.
Yeah, and they had massive success earlier in the half with that as well. again, with the wind being so tricky and, you know, soft underfoot, it's easy to make a mistake here.
It's your scrum, so we don't lose advantage, okay? Okay.
But again, I think Cottesloe hooker Sofia Becker-Fuente doing a good job of slowing down the scrums for her team. Just kind of controlling momentum.
Oh, that's a big shove by the Queens and a really good clean scrum, and it is Leadington onto the boot, but it's a little chip and chase. It's picked up by McGeehan and then came off the foot there. And Leadington's done a really good job there turning that ball over. She's tackled and does also a really good job just staying in there. And she's a big smile on her face as she puts that ball back, as that's carried up now by Nari Little.
That was great play. Lovely little chip over the top. And does really well to get the turnover.
Oh, here's Katie Barnes, got the ball in the open, cleaned it up. Here she goes, McGeehan tries to make the tackle but misses it. Katie Barnes, she'll go all the way, and that is a real turnaround. And that's 2 tries to Katie Barnes out of nothing. There's those wet conditions. The ball went to ground, and a great heads-up play by Barnes. And she goes, 40 metres on that one.
Really athletic, really strong running there. Well done to her.
Yeah, great handoff as well, you know, with the big don't argue to just get that separation. And then she showed a great pair of heels. And I tell you what, I think Cala Queens were actually they were looking good there. I was about to say, an opportunity for them to put some points on the board before the end of the half. And we've turned around, we've gone the other way. And the Seagulls find themselves up in this grand final rematch. They're up 10-7 as Dixon will look to use the wind here. And slices that one. I think it was the 8-iron when it probably should have been the pitching wedge. So she's got the outside of that one.
Although as an ex-back rower myself, really enjoyed the fact that she's taking the conversions. You know, the best of the club should take the kicks. You know, that's how it should work.
Not really.
And in this country, the big man himself, John Eales, did it the best, so why not? That was a real big turning of momentum there as well. I agree with you, Jason. Kalamunda looked there building nicely. Leadington had won the ball back. You know, they had the whole pitch to play with. And fairness, Cottesloe hung in there. Katie Barnes really leading by example, and a massive momentum changer there before the end of the first half.
Well, there's 2.5 minutes left to half-time here, and I think the Queens are using this as a bit of an opportunity to take a breather. They are a bit light on in the player numbers today, so they'll be looking to manage that as well.
I think what they'll have to look at, though, is how they scored their first try. Get the set-piece dominance going again, get the line-up maul going, and get the big ball carriers going as well. They have a recipe to get themselves back into the pitch. They just need to take it themselves.
And Leadington gets us back underway, and Katie Barnes, she's been absolutely everywhere in this game, and she looks to carry again. And oh wow, she's done a fantastic job, and
up to the 10-metre, huge
down there after really leading by example, the experienced Super W player.
Yeah. As I said, first year as the captain as well, obviously means a lot to her. Been part of this club for a long time, so well done to her for leading with such a strong example in those ball carries and the pilfers.
Is that Alice Goldstadt there? And Liddycote heads it out to Dixon, who takes it up to the line, and he's tackled by Dee. And Liddycote throws a bit of a wobbly one out. Bree Wallace picks it up, and now
they have numbers here on the near side if Cotton get the ball quickly.
And it was probably one that you take the risk to go for there by Rosie McGann.
It's half time, ladies. Half time. Half time.
And referee Louis de Klerk signals half time. So at half time, it's the Cottesloe Seagulls 10, Cala Queens 7, and we're going to take a quick break, and we'll see you back here in a few minutes for the second half.
So the penalty there is that the person who's made the steal
Welcome back to Harvey Field for the second half of this Fortescue Women's Premier Grade match between the Cottesloe Seagulls and the Kalamunda Queens. And the story of that first half has probably been the lady on screen now, Katie Barnes, scoring 2 tries in the first half. One probably against the run of play, but the Cottesloe Seagulls are up 10-7 in a tight affair. It's been a good game so far, and I think, well, they're lower on the table, and Michael and I were just chatting off air saying, I think they might be smelling the upset.
Yeah, they've been very impressive in the way they handled the initial pressure from Kalamunda. Really good unity as a team, really kind of just control momentum, slowing down the scrums where they were weak, but then really just taking their opportunity. And some great pilfers from Katie Barnes and from Langi Sasenga as well. But again, Kalamunda have a lot of opportunity back into this game if they can get their scrum right again and their line out.
And that was actually a pretty good restart by Sasenga, bounced right on the 10, and the Queens have fielded it and then been tackled into touch. So I'm not sure it came right off the middle of the boot, but it's actually worked out quite well for them. A good restart here by the Seagulls.
Yeah, really right close to the touchline there on the far side for us. Great kickoff.
I think I could see from the big smile on Sasenga's face that maybe that didn't come off the boot quite exactly, but it worked out well, and that's a really good line out as Barnes brings it down and Dixon cleans up as it gets a bit messy at the back there.
Another player with a strong half actually for the Cottesloe Seagulls is Naomi Dixon, with great carries along with Zoe Elliott as well.
Yeah, she's a younger player, but she certainly doesn't shy away from carrying the ball. She loves getting the ball one off the ruck as Lidico comes in here now to set things up, and that's the hooker, Sofia Fuente, taking the ball up, and Sasenga gets her hands on the ball, has a good dart. Good footwork there just to break through the line, and Cottesloe find themselves now in a good attacking position. Lidico does really well, actually. Heads up play there by Lidico as she chips off 10 metres and does well to get to the ground. So good heads up play, good snipe there from Lidico. And it's another one of those big hits from the Cala Queens hooker as Seagulls just look, and they've won the penalty here for offside, so the Queens there not getting all the way back behind the ruck.
Really good work from the 9, as he said. She did a great job to snipe down the short side here. Oh, and Louis de Klerk matching him 10 metres for back check.
Oh, and the quick tap restart there by the Seagulls, by Lidico, and they do well, and that's Zoe Elliott there, and they're 2 metres out here, the Seagulls, and they're going to look to pick and go.
Release!
As the Seagulls have it here, right out, looking to start the half strong. Lidico throws a big wide pass now, and here's Sasenga, a really good tackle there by Leddington as well. Low tackle, and the Queens have done well to get around the corner in defence, actually, and Lidico comes back the other way. Here's Zoe. Here is Naomi Dixon. Does really well to offload the ball. Now out to the winger, Dumper, and
another big hit from Kalamunda there.
Another big hit, and they're taken into touch. So actually really great defensive set there from the Queens, 5 metres out from their line. And referee Louis de Klerk just says we'll take a bit of a break for the injury. I think he's happy that that tackle's legal, Michael.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's one of the Kalamunda women down as well at the moment. I think the tackler came off. I think the tackler came off second best there in that contest. But you're right; they've scrambled extremely well there to stave off the attack of Cottesloe.
And the Queens have a change at the 9 position with Journey Carriopa coming on. So the 2 Carriopa sisters out there now as the Queens take the line out and they knock the ball on, sorry. And Cottesloe get the ball back, and they... Okay, so we'll have a scrum. Really good attacking opportunity and a great start to this second half by the Seagulls. They got a late try a few minutes before. They call it the championship minutes, don't they? 10 minutes between either staff. And the way they've started this second half, the Seagulls, they want to come away with some points here, I think.
I know I keep saying it, but a really good defensive jumping in the lineup from Katie Barnes as well, up a 2 to put pressure on that ball to make it difficult. Again, understanding the environment, understanding the conditions, using a lot of experience there. And as you said, a great platform here. But can Cala use what was one of their main weapons in the first half and get a scrum penalty against the head? Chris Heisberg will probably looking on with great wonder.
Okay, and Lidico Defeat pops it in, and it does get to the back of that one, but it is going backwards, and Calla Queens come away with the penalty there. A really strong defensive scrum from that Calla Queen front row.
Great resilience from that team there in that pack, from the scramble defence to that they're using one of their main weapons there to get them out of trouble.
And Leddington will take the kick for touch, and finds touch for the Calla line. So, I mean, a little bit harsh because it's hard to hook the ball and get it out quickly when you're going backwards in the scrum, but I just think that the Seagulls maybe had the opportunity to get the ball out a bit quicker there. It did seem that it was the back of the ruck, and I'd like to see either Katie Barnes at the 8 try to pick the ball up and go quickly, or Megan might have to, Lidicote might have to stick her head in the dark areas to pick up that ball and get it out quickly, because I think you want to get it as quick as possible with these Queens. And Louis de Klerk has, he's been done for LBW there. He's been watching the Ashes, and that has got him plumb in the rolls. And we don't need Hawkeye, he says we'll have a scrum.
Sorry.
Leg before wicket for anybody who isn't a cricket connoisseur like myself, coming from the Northern Hemisphere island known as Ireland. But again, a lot of pressure from Cottesloe on that lineup now as well. Katie Barnes looking to mark up with one of their main jumpers and get up early and disrupt that throw.
So the Queens have probably done well here to weather the storm a little bit, pardon the pun on this windy, wet day, but a bit of a miscue there. So we'll use this to have a bit of a breather. So I want to talk a little bit, Michael, about Rugby WA. For the first time this year is sending away a Perth Golds women's team at the end of the season. So the Perth Gold men has been a long-standing historical team that goes away and competes in the Australian Shield, but this year, for the first time, a women's team. So a lot of the players out here, who do you think we should be having a look at for that Perth Gold tour at the end of the year?
Yeah, there's a lot. I must say, I've been really impressed with some of the front row of Kalamunda. Their work rate in the set piece and through their tackling as well.
Here's Kerry Opa now, and this is a really good move off the back of the scrum as Kerry Opa. Dixon tries to bring it out. Kerry Opa has chewed off about 30 metres there with a fantastic, strong run. Exactly what you want from your centre. And Kalamunda, off the back of that scrum, have found themselves now at the other end of the field, and a really great offload now. And that is, it's picked up, a loose pass now, and we see in full flight Zoe Elliott. Oh, geez, I'd love to have seen it get out into the open there. But yeah, just that loose at the last there by Calla, but they did a great job to get forward now as the Seagulls bring it forward and probably look to slow things down now. And they win the penalty, and what a shame for the Queens there. It was a great opportunity, and the penalties count now just starting to work a little bit against them.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed there as well, because they had a great carry there, get them into the right position of the pitch. And again, the eagerness to offload in the tackle, a risky business, especially in these conditions.
Sorry, I threw you a hospital pass there, Michael, as it's known. Asked you questions about Australian Rugby Shield selection just as Kalamunda had a big line break off the back of the scrum. So, and Sasenga takes it quickly, throws the ball out to Barnes. Barnes straightens, carries strong again. God, geez, that's got to be over 10 carries in the game already for Barnes. She's been everywhere.
It's a good tactic as well to use in these conditions. You know, tip and go, get the easy meters. Look where they are already up towards the halfway line as well.
Oh, here's Dixon. That's a great strong run, just refusing to go down.
If we're speaking about Perth Gold, she'd be somebody to have a look at as well. Had a really strong game so far in her carries and our Jackals.
And yeah, a little bit unlucky there. Just had a bit of a second roll instead of releasing the ball, but understandable because she probably felt herself continuing to go forward. But great leg drive, keeping the legs pumping even though she was wrapped up. Chewed off 10 metres. Unfortunately, then took another half metre on the floor, and referee de Klerk says, no, I'm not giving you that one. But I agree, Dixon would be a good one to watch there. And I know she's played a couple of different positions as well, so she's playing in the back row today, but throughout the season, she's found herself at 10 as well.
Oh, wow. That's very good.
Versatile player, and she's still only been playing the game for a couple of years, so that's what I was saying.
Like a female Levani Botia, La Rochelle, Fijian back rower, 12 and 7. Multiple skill set.
I like the look of Zoe Elliott, to be honest. I think she's been very good in this game, and some really good carries from her as well. So,
for sure, big carries, and also big carries in big moments as well. You know, that's what you like to see from players as well, really putting their hand up when things aren't going well, or you need a momentum swinger. It's hard to do that.
And I think
Here she is again.
Here she is again, yeah, and abrasive after the contact as well, which is great. And she's got to ground there, which is good. Lidico flips it out to Fuente, and she
straightens and carries well.
She needs to be careful, and she makes her way to the ground now. And Dixon calling for the ball, and she shifts it to Jan Farrell, and that's a great rush up out of the line by
Mako again.
Yeah, Mako. She's hasn't got her hands on the ball as much as a winger, but she's made a couple of big tackles.
Yeah, really good defensive reads there. Timing absolutely spot on.
Bree Wallace, and she has pace, so watch out. Passes the ball out now, too, for the first time this game. That was Eleanor Dumper, and she puts it on the ground, and now that Cala Queens, and it's really starting to open up now. It's end-to-end stuff.
Was that the 15? That was great. Nicole Leddington here as well.
Leddington.
Another pass, it's all on.
Throws the pass
Here's
out
the 14.
now. Here's the 14. That's Mako, and she gives it to McGann. And as the sun just starts to peek through the clouds, the ball's getting thrown around a bit, and we like this. It's been great. Leddington gets in there. There's no number 9, though. Nobody wants to come in and play the ball.
They've done a good job to resource that ruck. They're under pressure there. Great skill set on show here to get from each side of the pitch. Another strong carry from Kalamunda here.
So I think some of the jersey numbers have changed here for Cala Queens as well, which is always fun for the commentators.
No advantage.
Really impressive rugby there, wasn't it? I mean, really good offloading going on, great passing, great ability to move into space.
Yeah, just opened up there for a few minutes, and I'd like to see a bit more of that. And as the legs get tired, and the space, I mean, Bree Wallace showing a great turn of speed there. And then I think actually giving the ball to, it was Molly Wallace who put it on the boot. But here come the Queens, up the middle of the park, finding their way inside the 22.
Another turnover for Katie Barnes there, strong over the ball carry there. Almost let the number 8 for Cala, Barb Malcolm Hecky, kind of get that extra metre so that she could have a bit of time to get over the ball. Really well done from her again there.
Clever players.
Hold rate, sorry.
Fuente cleans up for Cottesloe, and Lidico throws it out to Bree Wallace, who throws out a pass to Jan Farrell, who does a really good offload to Wallace on the other wing. Poor Jan Farrell, I don't think she's got a good ball all day. She's picked everything's off the ground on the bootlaces. She's saying, just give me one out in front of me to run onto, because she's another player with speed.
I must say, I was surprised to see Kalamunda do the tip and go there. You know, they could have had a scrum in the middle of the pitch where they have assert their dominance, get a scrum penalty, and they have a free play. But again, that's the power of hindsight, I suppose.
Dixon, little pass inside to Sasanga. Nice little play, that one.
Oh, great carry again. Cottesloe rumbling up here. Oh, I feel like I've got the commentator curse the entire day here, you know.
I think, I mean, both teams are competing really well at the breakdown, so they may just need those support players to just get in there a little bit quicker, I should say, and get a little bit closer to the ball carriers, because there's a few pilferers out there, as we see a change on the field with Sarah Coffey coming back on into the front row just in time to pack down a scrum. She had a break after half-time. But it's the Cala Queens who have the scrum here. They've been dominant most of the day. They haven't dominated every scrum. Cottesloe's turned a few over, but again, off the last scrum attacking move that they did off the backs, this will be really interesting here. And I wouldn't be surprised to see McGann, Hanake get a hand on the ball, and Queens have the feed, and it comes out the back, and McGann does get the ball, and she looks, and it's a nice little move there to Carriopa coming on the inside, and they get past the gain line, and a great job to get the ball offload to Leddington. Now to Ruru Hanake, the winger, good step inside, and a high tackle by Katie Barnes. Nothing more than a penalty, I think, on that one, but
again, great carry there and great offload by Carriopa there. Yeah, I think this is a smarter move from Kalamunda. They're learning from the previous. Get down into the corner, set up a good maul, see what they get on.
Yeah, this is how they got points on the board in the first half. So the kick from Leddington takes them, looks to be about 10 metres out from the line.
There you go. Yes.
But again, as you can see from the flag of the sideline touch hold there, really the wind is picking up from the side as well.
We'll see how Cottesloe defend this line out, whether they can get a jumper up. It looks like they'll try and throw Katie Barnes up and disrupt this one. And it goes to the front with no lifter, and that is unorthodox, but that has worked out really well for Kalamunda Heke. Was that a dialed-up move? Because it looked pre-planned.
I'm going to give it to the tight head prop. I think that's a pre-planned move, really good reading, you know, perfect throw. I think that's what I put it down to.
Absolute cracker. Oh, so it went through the hand. They had one lifter. I think that was the thing. The move is pretend to have one lifter at the front, and then
just lob it, kind of just like launch and lob over to your tight end. No, good reactions though, having missed the lift, you know, keeping aware, getting the ball and just straight run through.
Was that a dance move there as well from Kalamunda Heke after scoring that try? Is that part of the set piece as well? And well, that's worked out very well for the Queens. After a good period of play, they now find themselves back in front, 12-10 with a kick to come from Leddington. So yeah, I mean, because Cottesloe were throwing that middle jumper up, when Kalamunda Heke got her hands on the ball, there wasn't really anyone in front of her, and once she got a step on, she's going to be very hard to bring down 5 metres out from the line. So it's 2 tries to the Cala Queens that have both come from line outs 5 metres out from the line. So
I think that's what I was alluding to really at halftime, is they've got a big strong pack there who fundamentally know how to do their job. So again, it gives them a foothold into those positions, and twice they've been able to take the points on offer. Hard kick here now for Nicole Leddington.
Yeah, she'll need every bit of that wind. But going back to that chat around Perth Gold, I think as well, the Kalamunda Heke sisters. And just
very close.
Just lacked the legs on that one, but a good effort. So 51 minutes into this one. It is Cala Queens 12, Cot 10 on a game that's been back and forward, actually. It's been a really good contested. We mentioned that these are the 2 teams that played each other in the grand final last year, and similarly that grand final was a really close contested game as Sasanga looks to get us underway. And it is worth noting that the Queens do have a couple of big names out. Obviously Trilene Pomare off with the Wallaroos this weekend. Ariana Hirangi also not available for selection today. So they've done a great job with the players that they have to get themselves up in this one, and that is the try scorer with a big strong carry. And look at, she's got a great leg on her, and Jan Farrell takes her down, but that was absolutely, you find an extra little bit of juice in the legs after you score a try, obviously, because that was a fantastic effort. In fact, it wasn't the try scorer. I think it was Katana on the carry there, the sister, and Leddington, McGann.
Lovely
good pass out to Ruru Hinake, and the winger here, Mako, she's been good today. And Bree Wallace is in there trying to make a mess of that. And Katie Barnes shoots up out of the line. Here it is to Kalamunda Heke.
Good offload,
Naomi,
tackle.
good offload, and that's Dee now. And the
Kalamunda
Queens are
feeling it.
Yeah, moving the ball really well here. And and here's Kerry Oper now onto the outside. And she's broken through. She's hard to bring down. She looks as if she's going to score here. That is a fantastic try from the Kalamunda Queens. From one end of the field to the other, left and right. It all started with a big carry from their front row, and then really good hands there in the wet. And that's an absolute belter of a try, and probably the best moment of the game so far.
You got to say the front row of Kalamunda are doing a huge amount of work here, from winning scrum penalties, big carries, offloading in those carries as well. Really impressive so far.
That was a great team try. I think everyone on the team touched the ball in that set of play, actually. So that's one that'll keep the coaching team, head coach Rua Heke. So I imagine that's, I'm going to guess maybe his daughter's playing. So I could be wrong there, but he'd be very happy with a try like that. Every player getting their hands on the ball. And the wingers, Alex Foster and Ruera Mako, who's been good today, they look dangerous, but yeah, really good hands.
Rosie McGann with a great pass to the outside channel as well. Really good skill set there, under pressure, in the tackle zone.
Rosie McGann is a young player, and she was part of the UWA Sevens program, so you have to have a pretty good pass to play Sevens, and she went over as part of that Sevens program last year. think she fancies herself as a bit of a sevens player, and why wouldn't you with a home Commonwealth Games and Olympics coming up? As Leddington puts the conversion, and that's a very good kick into the wind as well, as you can hear the cheers from the Kalamunda Queens bench, and that actually starts to give Kalamunda a little bit of daylight now, 19-10.
That was a great kick from Leddington. And in fairness, the one before, she was really close, but on the wrong side for a right-legged footer kicker as well. So great kick there.
Cottesloe need to just go back to what was working for them before. They had a really good spell. Came down 5 metres out from their own line. A couple of phases, but just couldn't breach that Cala Queens defence. So they need to go back to that as Carriopa fields the kick really well, actually. And I feel like the players have, the skill level's gone up a little bit here in the second half. I think it has stopped raining and the wind has died down a little bit, and that's probably reflected in the play now as Kamazona Heke throws a big don't argue and takes 4 or 5 players with it. They seem to be building into this game. I was worried about the legs that they'd have, Michael, but they're actually growing into this context.
Yeah, it's amazing to see self-belief really in action. We're seeing it full flow here. Oh.
And
up in hand, please. You can't close the hand.
okay, so
Yeah, it's contact, yeah.
He's saying it's a fend to the face from the Kalamunda, excuse me.
yeah, he wasn't happy there with here Barb Malcolm Heke, just saying that the fend, which we've seen put in action a fair bit today, as that kick for touch from Sasanga comes off the inside of the club there, and that's a shank, and that goes dead.
Captain, 22 or scrum we'll kick from.
Jeez.
Okay.
Yeah, no surprises there. I think you could hear on, picked up on the referee right there. There was no hesitation. She said, we'll have the scrum.
Okay.
But again, as we're just alluding to, though, as you said, the really good work from the Kalamunda pack here. Really getting around the pitch. Big carries, big fends. And lovely hands in the tackle zone.
Yeah, they've got skills as well. You know, they're not just big ball carriers. They're always looking for the offload. Cottesloe have a change here, and it's number 3, Izzy MacGyver, going back on. So the front rowers getting a little bit of a rest, as it's George Baez coming off. And that scrum gets
Same ball.
We're going to have to reset.
a little bit messy there.
But again, they're well in this, but Cottesloe are still in this as well.
So Izzy MacGyver's run onto the field after the change to pack that scrum, and looks as if she's taken a little bit of a knock, or maybe just twisted something a little bit there. So hopefully she's okay. As the Cala Queens front row are just having a little bit of a chat there, doing some on-field training.
Yeah, sure, yeah, what's it?
Prop is coming out. She's like coming out. So when she comes out, do you want me to pull her back in? Or
I'll come and look now. She's supposed to stay on there. It's not your responsibility. As long as you're bound. Yeah, as long as you're bounding.
Kamazona Heke just asking for a bit of clarity around the binding from the loose head of Cottesloe.
Yeah, good refereeing there by de Klerk. He says, oh, well, I'll just come over and have a look then. We'll see.
Yeah.
So Journey Carriopa, the younger of the two sisters, with the feed here. I'd like to see her get in the open with the ball as well, or have a snipe, because she is absolutely rapid. She is so quick in the open. Leddington now goes out to Carriopa, passes on the back shoulder, really well cleaned up by McGeehan, and she throws a really good back to Mako, and again that commentator's curse, but all of those did go backwards, so the Queens clean up here, and that's a really good carry there by Nari Little, and strong carry up to the halfway line there. And Leddington looks to have a dart, looks to find the gap, breaks it. Here's Leddington now, great run, cover tackle from Jan Farrell. Goes high in the tackle. Leddington does really good heads up play to release the ball, pick it up there, and Kalamunda Queens are chewing off the meters here. And that's Didi And looks for the offload, does really well. And again, good hands. Kariopa, it's on here for the Queens on the outside. Kariopa attacks the line. Here is Ruru Hinake. She comes back inside. Really good tackle there as well by Bree Wallace it was. And Jan Farrell's over that, and she's won a turnover. Really, really good intervention there by Jan Farrell to turn that ball over, because the Queens now they've just gone into another gear with those backs, as the co-commentator gets his hands on the rugby ball. So Cottesloe now Vicky Fuente with the throw.
That was a crucial intervention by Jan Farrell to get that turnover to relieve the pressure.
Yeah, they looked on there, the Queens, and Katie Barnes takes it. The ball goes backwards. Letico gives it to Dixon now. Dixon throws it out to Bree Wallace. Bree Wallace gives it to Sasanga, and here come Cottesloe. And this game's really opened up in this second half. It's great to watch. Sasanga tries to throw the ball into contact, into the winger, Molly Wallace, but they don't connect that time, and it goes into touch.
Yeah, they need to take their time here. There's plenty of time left on the clock to get a few scores. Let themselves build back into the game, get in the right parts of the field, and go from there. But there's a good line out there from Cottesloe, in fairness. But I must say, I'm really impressed in Nicole Letting in this second half. She's really controlling the pace of the game, getting her hands on the ball more, and again, showing us that attacking threat we mentioned at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I feel that the Cala Queens, just getting that crisper ball between the 9 and the 10, a quicker ball out the back of the ruck as Journey Kariopa cleans it up there, and it's a pick and go here from, I believe that's Barb Malcolm Heke. And they're going to go back to what's worked for them as Kamazona Heke here takes it up. And again, they bend the line.
And always keeping her hands free in the tackle, always ready for that offload.
Yeah, and they're getting good, quick quality ball as it comes to Kariopa, and she throws the dummy, and then the ball goes out to McGann. Now it's Ariana Ruru Hinake, and she's taking the ball in, and it's Jan Farrell again. She
got herself over the ball, and then it was in the side ruck from number 23 McGann,
and
10 meters
kicking the ball away. There by the Queens, earns the Cottesloe Seagulls another 10 metres as Langley Sasanga goes to kick the ball for touch into the wind, and she does, takes them 5 metres into their attacking half. So
match being played between the two 10 metres here at the moment. Like, there's a lot of pressure going in from both sides. You know, whoever can get this next score down towards 10 to 22 can change.
Zoe Elliott coming back on the field after a break, and she lifts Katie Barnes. That's a good line out, that one by Cottesloe.
Very good.
Litico throws a difficult pass up to Dixon and Bree Wallace, and she just fumbles it at the feet there. And again, I think maybe that's a point of difference as well. Just the Queens are just getting nice, crisp ball out the back of the ruck and offset piece, whereas I feel like the Seagulls, it's been just a little bit messier today between that 9-10 combination. And when you add in the conditions,
yeah, it can stop momentum quite easily when you're trying to build something. Yeah, it can just stop momentum, unfortunately, for the Cottesloe goals after a really good line out as well off the top.
Well, you can hear through the referee mic some heavy breathing there in the front row, and understandably, because it has really opened up here in the second half. It's been great to watch as Kariopa puts in the feed to the Cala Queens, and they move forward and they win the scrum. And here is Rosie McGann, and she's carried well today.
Yeah,
and
good fight
tackle as well.
Good fight in the ground to get the ball back as well. Good body position from McGann.
And here's Nari Little to Barb Malcolm Heke. It's cleaned up. Cleaned up there.
Still playing the advantage.
Heke.
Yeah.
Is that offside, was it?
No, I think it was a penalty from the original scrum.
Right. Oh yes, of course it was.
Yeah. Again, I think that's what's showing, you know, the weapons that Kalamunda have in their arsenal. Why shy away from, why go away from when it's working for you throughout the game?
So about 7 minutes left in this one. Kalamunda will be happy to use that win. Leddington here, she'll want to put it into the 22 and just
That's
keep
a
the
good
rugby,
kick.
and that is a really good kick as well.
Really good kick, yeah. Good attacking platform here for Kalamunda on the 22.
Play, Rich, this please.
All the near side of the pitch to play with. I must say Rose McGann has been excellent in the second half as well. Some really good carries, some great passes.
There's been good continuity in that Queen's backline. Like their passing has been a little bit crisper than the Seagulls when they've had the ball in hand.
Yeah.
They look dangerous. There looks to be some really good connection between those players. So interesting throughout the season how that continues as the line-out's brought down and the Queens wisely set up a maul. That worked for them well in the first half as Barb Heke pops off the maul there, and she's brought down by Bree Wallace.
You'd love to see the stats now to carries she's made post tackles meters as well. It's fantastic.
Leddington's tackled high by Sasanga, so they've got a penalty advantage here as McGann cleans it up, and Sasanga going high in the tackle there on Leddington. So Cala Queens have an opportunity here. Looks like Kerry Opa's going to take the tap. Barb Heke, she's carried all day. She carries again.
Short of the line.
And McGann now throws the ball out to Ruru Henake. Goes out to the winger now, and she is tackled into touch, bungled into touch by Sasanga coming across to make the cover tackle.
Great scramble there from Cottesloe to get over to the edge. It looks like a certain try from where we were sitting.
Well, with 4 more minutes left, Michael, I'm going to give you the honour to pick the player of the game. We were chatting at halftime about how good Katie Barnes was, but given that Cala Queens have come back in this second half and now find themselves 19-10 up, I'll give you a minute or two to think about that.
This is the blue mark. You have to sit off that.
I think you've got to give it to one of the front rows of Kalamunda. It's between either Camazoni Hekes because they have just been so impressive in the way they've been offloading, the ball carrying, and the scrum penalties. Really have been able to control the game. And also, I think really Nicole Leddington had done an amazing second half, controlling the pace of the game.
Dixon put it on the boot, and it was not handled in the difficult swirling conditions there by the winger. Lawara Mako has been good today, but that was a difficult one. So the Seagulls will. Good exit there, kick from Dixon, reading the weather, and Mako couldn't field it. Yeah, I think let's, given they've got the same surname, why don't we just give the player of the game to Camazona Heke? We just say they can have it combined. The two sisters, they've given Kalamunda Queens a platform all day with that scrum.
No, I'm going to pick one, I think, because I can't have just the sharing going on.
Really?
I don't want that. I want there to be
participation awards.
No, none of
Okay.
that. I'm going to go with the number 3, Naomi Camazoni Heke. I think she's been really good in the carrying, particularly as well as her primary role. But I've just been really impressed with the ability to keep the hands free in the tackle zone. Really, and again, you know, it's a tough day out there in terms of weather-wise. Oh, great turnover from Zoe Elliott, reading that the ball was out there.
Yeah, it was. Leddington lost her footing, went backwards, and the Seagulls they've still got an opportunity to put some scores on the board, and they have advantage here as Katie Barnes brings it in high, and oh gee, that tackle looked a little bit higher there. And
for our viewers at home as well, you know, scoring 7 points or less if you're a losing side does get you a bonus point, which could be crucial towards the end of the season as it's so tight there between second and third.
Do you want the mark closer to the sideline?
There's a penalty there. Which one do you want? The first one's back there. Okay?
And they'll go a little bit closer to the sideline because of the wing as Sasanga looks to put this one into touch, and she does, and sends that one onto the Cottesloe beach. As Sophia Bakir-Fuente to take the line out, see if she can hit her target, which looks to be Katie
Lovely
Barnes.
throw.
Yeah, really good throw that time, and Lidico just knocking on off the back of the line out, and I think she just looked up there to see who was coming at her. And a bit unfortunate there because the line out off the top from Cottesloe, that was probably the best dime of the day, that one.
Yeah.
I think that was a great throw. a little bit easier throwing here at Harvey Field when you've got the wind at your back.
And again, you can see the lift that gives the Kalamunda Queens as well, all clapping, all cheering.
Yeah,
you don't want to be taking on them in the scrum now at this stage of the game. We're looking to get back.
Only a few more minutes left in this one, so we'll see if the Queens can add to that score with a set piece here. And again, the scrum platform that they've had all day as Rosie McGann. Great turn of pace there. Pops the ball back off to Carriopa, who carries strong in the tackle. She's brought down by Dixon, who goes in to see if she can get the pilfer. Doesn't come away with it. The Queens have still got the ball, and McGann, who's been excellent today, has taken the ball, and the Queens have it in their 22. But there is a turnover one.
From Naomi Dixon as well. Ever present throughout the match. Well done.
Oh. And again, I think they're being marked 10 because twice they've done that when they've had a penalty.
Release the ball. Back to it.
Referee de Klerk. So Lidico looks to take it quick there and throws it out to Katie Barnes. Can she get a third try? Sasenga, really good. Tackled really well as well in the tackle. As the Seagulls look to come home with a wet sail, but actually the ball's been pilfered there by Rosie McGann. She's done an excellent job. Strong performance from her today as well. And
another contender for player of the match as well was her and her partner in the centres, Zakaya Carriopa. Great partnership across the pitch.
Really good, and that is full time. So a fantastic win for the Kalamunda Queens with a light bench. They've come home in difficult conditions, but anchored off the strength of that scrum and some really good connection in the backs. They win the grand final replay of last year 19-10, so a little bit of revenge for them, but good signs for Cottesloe Seagulls as well, building into the season. Plenty of rugby left to play. Strong performances from Katie Barnes, Naomi Dixon. Sasenga looked good, and a couple of panels there, but we'll see you next week. Make sure you tune in to Stan Sport for the Battle of Broome Street a little bit later this afternoon. But from Jason Marable and Michael Lorden, thanks for joining us, and goodbye.